Ciao, buongiorno, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to INTERTALKS, another edition. This is our 5th episode so far and our 3rd match review, going off what Raul did midweek or only a couple of days ago, I think, where we aired our match preview for today's fixture that we have been able to win. So Prima Vittoria, our first victory of the season, and it came this morning in the forms of a 3-0 away win against Bologna. So let's just jump right into the review for that match. The first half saw us return to the fundamental 4-2-3-1 that was played by Spalletti almost every single match last season. In fact, I'm not too sure if there was a single fixture where he did not deploy the 4-2-3-1. Just some news before the start of the match. We had a couple of changes to the team sheet in which Bologna and Naingollan came in to start in an attacking mid-role behind Keita Balde. And Keita Balde was replacing the injured Mauro Icardi, who limped off with a muscular problem, I think just before the warm-up. And it was Spalletti's decision to basically rest him for today's fixture. I'm not too sure why he didn't choose to start Lautaro Martinez over Keita Balde. That would have been my decision. But hey, no complaints looking back on it now. So let's jump right into the match. Besides that, we also saw Asamoah come into the starting 11. And he probably played his worst performance for us of the season so far. He didn't look as comfortable on the ball, and there were a lot of times where he opted for a safer option rather than that riskier move of cutting inside or basically trying to shrug off a defender. And because of that, he was made to look a lot more complacent and very easy to deal with at the back for some of Bologna's players. But we do need to remember that he was battling fitness big time, and he wasn't even meant to be in the starting lineup. And, you know, if Dalbert was showing us that he was consistently competent, our boy Dalbert, then maybe Asamoah wouldn't have been risked today, a la Icardi. But he was risked and he did play semi-decent, not to what we were expecting to see of him today, but he did do the job at the end of the day. We started strongly in the match, the first 10 to 15 minutes, even right off the kickoff, we came out guns blazing, moving the ball quite quickly, looking to link up with each other in the front three, especially Nainggolan, Perisic and Politano. And this is something I've noticed even last season with Inter, when we come out the guns blazing the first 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, if we don't grab that early goal, it does tend to set us back a little bit because we have no choice but to taper down a little bit towards the back end of the first half. And that's where Bologna started to maybe catch us a little bit off guard. I would say that one of our biggest flaws so far this season, and this match it was pretty prevalent, we're starting to give away some unnecessary fouls in our own half of the pitch. By our own half, I mean the area where Bologna would have been attacking today. I think the free kicks that they had today, had they been a more competent side or a more attacking side or a more threatening side aerially, then they probably would have grabbed a goal or two today, because a lot of the fouls that we committed today, they didn't necessarily need to be committed. And I think that we got off quite easily. There were a couple of times in the match where the ball was swung in, even if it wasn't from a dead ball, and we did look a little bit susceptible at the back. But once again, no complaints now after looking at the full-time scoreline. I think Stefan de Vrij had a fantastic performance at centre-back again. He was rock solid, just like Skriniar. I think they've got two very, very similar centre-back pairing characteristics. And because of this, they complement each other ferociously well. Just a quick point. Anyone who's watching the match or anyone who's watching the replay, go to about 71.5, 72 minutes in for a real spectacular piece of work from Milan Skriniar, shielding the ball really well on our own goal line and being able to go through two Bologna defenders before being fouled at that point in the match in order to run the clock down. It was actually fantastic, so go and have a look at that if you haven't already. Roberto Gagliardini made his first start for us, and this was the biggest change to the starting lineup for me. Getting Matías Vecino out of that midfield 2 was fundamental to us playing a more fluid match today. And I think with Gagliardini coming in and pairing up with Brozovic, who he did have a great partnership with last season, I think that's where we saw us flow really well today, where we struggled in previous matches. And you add that Nainggolan link in front of those two players, and all of a sudden we have a lot more fluid movement than we did in the first two matches. With regards to Gagliardini versus Vecino, a lot of fans online, you're not really torn between the two players, as I think it's a safe bet to say most Interisti back Roberto Gagliardini as a starter. It's just the simplicity of Roberto and the fundamentalness of his game that we require. He understands the game, his simplicity is better, his direction and his spatial awareness is a lot more tactical than Matías Vecino, and for these reasons alone, he should start. When Matías Vecino did come on in the second half, he was deployed in a midfield 3, and he was able to press quite hard up top. That's because a lot of the defensive or playmaking responsibilities did not fall onto him from the start of the match, and I think this is where he is going to be utilised most productively this season if Spalletti is willing to let him sit the bench for majority of the match. If Vecino can come in 15-20 minutes before the end, press hard, win the ball back and distribute it out to the wingers like Perisic and Politano and to the attackers like he did today in the final 15 minutes, he'll probably grab 1.5 assists like he did today. The touch that he made for Perisic for the second goal, in which Perisic put it into Candreva, was fundamental, and he obviously played the assisting pass for the final goal as well for Perisic. So we have to give a shout out to Matías Vecino today for doing his job very, very well when he came on, but that is what he is the best at for us. That is where we need to utilise him, and we're just going to continue to give him necessary hate if he is going to be deployed for 90 minutes in a midfield too, because it's just not his best position. Going on to the second half, once again we came out the better side, and we were very tough in central defence, with Nainggolan dropping back a little bit as well. There were many times in the second half where Bologna started to break a little bit, only got about 10-15 metres outside of halfway before they were absolutely crunched. Nainggolan, Skriniar, De Vrij, even D'Ambrosio coming in from the flanks in order to combust that central role and get the ball back out there. That was really, really good. Okay, goal, Nainggolan, minuto 66. But before we give him credit, let's give a little bit of credit to Matteo Politano, who I think has been our most consistent attacker so far this season. He was directly involved again and ended up getting the assist for the first goal. I think he had a great performance, especially in the second half. And having him play 70 to 80 minutes, just like Gagliardini, and then having someone like Candreva come on for the last 15-20 minutes, an experienced player who can perform fundamental roles in terms of getting back, helping the defensive line, playing as a false nine, the way Candreva did. This is optimal, and it's the optimal decision for us until proven otherwise. Matteo Politano has proven in 3 out of 3 starts that he is eligible to start on that right wing, and he should be starting every single match. And I am more than okay with Antonio Candreva coming on and doing what he did today, because at the end of the day, he's not a poor player. I just don't think he has the 90 minutes to perform at top level for Inter anymore, but he has more than enough ability and talent to come on for the 15-minute cameos, pressure the defenders, pressure the ball runners, and get into little nooks and crannies behind the defence and grab his first goal in, I think it was 502 official competition minutes today. So congratulations to him. It was nice to see him smile and do the little celebration with the ball under his shirt today. Congratulations to him and his wife on the arrival of, I think it's a baby girl. I'll stand corrected if I'm not. But fantastic for him and for the Candreva family. Besides that, not really much else to discuss. Raja Nainggolan limped off with a little bit of muscular fatigue, but I think that was just precautionary as well. Raul will come at you again with the next match preview. We have an international break coming up now, so we'll see what kind of content we can deliver to you guys in the time that we are waiting for the next fixture. In terms of the Champions League draw, though, we'll do a little bit of a discussion on that now to end off. So we've been drawn in a very, very tough group, notably with Spanish giants FC Barcelona, English Premier League top side Tottenham Hotspur, and PSV Eindhoven from the Netherlands, the reigning Dutch champions. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure they're the reigning Dutch champions. It probably is the group of death, alongside the Group C, which has Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool and Napoli and Red Star Belgrade. So our group is going to be very, very tough, but we are going to have to be tough to get through it. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And I think we're just going to really have to go in there all guns blazing every single fixture in a hope to get as many points as possible. I think that we can get the necessary points to go through, but we are going to need to be as rock solid and just basically the best version of Inter that we have been since 2010. Other than that, the tough group was not going to get me down. I was very excited to see our name get drawn out of the Champions League pot, and I was just as excited to see us go 3-0 up against Bologna away from home this morning. So congratulations to the Ragazzi, congratulations to us as fans for our first win of the season. Let's hope for many more performances and results the same. Thank you for watching. Click like, subscribe below. We've had some great momentum. We've had some great subscribers and some great comments. As always, Forza Inter.